Are you a business owner or employee who needs to network but is terrified of walking into a room full of people you don't know? Are you afraid of being left out of conversations or being awkward in the conversations you do have? Your tour guide, Faithann, is here to walk alongside you through the networking terrain, offering tips and tricks to network with ease. Grab your sunscreen and suitcase. Faithann is ready. Are you?
Welcome to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast. I'm your host, Faith Ann, and this is the podcast where you can get your networking questions answered one episode at a time. Hey, before we dive into today's episode, I want to share something with you. This podcast is getting a rebrand. Starting Monday, the 27th of April, it will be called Business Networking and Referrals for Entrepreneurs, the Networkers Tour Guide. Same content, same mission, just a name that makes it easier to find and share. So when you see the new name and cover, you'll know you're in the right place. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Today's episode is all around numbering your people. Now that sounds weird. We're not counting the children of Israel like David did in the Old Testament. We're not counting viewers. We are assigning a number to the people in a room, a large room full of lots of different people in a networking situation, so that we can determine how much time to spend with each type of person. So the numbers are the categories. They're not a actual number of people. Now, I first introduced this during Live at 5. I'm going to play that recording now for you. This is your ones, your twos, and your threes live at 5. And then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about moving people from number to number. And that'll wrap up the episode. Hello, it's Faith Ann, the Networkers Tour Guide, coming into this group every Wednesday at 5 for strategies that help you build relationships so that you can grow your businesses through referrals. When you are networking in a large room, this is what I do. I break the people up in the room into categories. So I have my ones, my twos, and my threes. My ones are the people that I know very well. They're the people that I do life with, out even beyond networking meetings. They're my friends. They're my business friends. And most importantly, I know what a good referral for them is, and they know what a good referral for me is. More than likely, I've passed them a referral, and more than likely, they have passed me a referral. So when I am in a networking situation, my number ones in an open networking with lots of people, they serve a purpose for me. My twos are the people who I've met before a few times. I've talked to them. I may not quite remember their name, but I probably remember what they do, or maybe I don't remember what they do, but I remember their name. And this is where, like, the shadow, I know a shadow of what they do. I don't know what they do. I haven't had the chance yet to really learn what they do. So that means that I only know a shadow of what would make a good referral for them. So we're friendly and we know each other, like we're familiar with each other. Those are the twos. I'm familiar with you, but I probably wouldn't know. It wouldn't be very obvious to me if I'm standing in the middle of a referral for my twos, because I just don't know them quite well enough yet. Okay, those are the twos. The threes, your threes are those people that are brand new, that you've never met. And your threes are going to fall into two camps. They're going to be either very nervous, very hesitant, overwhelmed. Their nervous system is is being taxed. This is hard for them. Those are your threes. You've never met them, and they, in one like arm of your threes, they just don't look very comfortable. It's very new. Okay. And then the other side of your threes are the people that do look comfortable, but they're just new to you. You've never met them. And maybe they're new to the meeting. Like you're a regular at a meeting, but they're new. This is their first time. And if that's the case, if that is their first time, a lot of things are happening for them in their brains, a lot of processing, a lot of, even if they're comfortable, even if they're extroverts. They're still processing a lot of information, harder and more than you are, if this is a room that's familiar to you. So my ones, my twos, and my threes each serve a purpose. Okay. So for the ones, those are the people that, man, you've referred, you're their cheerleader, you're familiar with them, very familiar. They've probably passed you a referral. You've probably tried to pass them a referral, or you have passed them a referral. So the ones. These people at networking meetings, you're going to do one of two things. You're going to check in with them. So check in. Hey, Mary, how was Branson? Okay. A quick check in. And your ones are great to check in whenever like you've done something in when talking to other people and the person's like, "Hey, Faithann, did you know you're wearing your shirt inside out?" Or or somebody's at the meeting that you didn't think was going to be there and you guys have some bad blood. You go over to your one and you're like, you wouldn't believe who's here. I didn't know they were going to be here. Or you wouldn't believe what I just did. I've been here for an hour. My shirt's been on backwards the whole time. So your ones are kind of, think about a toddler at a pool. So what ones are for is that reassurance. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Monica. Your ones are the reassurance. Well, just like a toddler at a pool. If you watch them, they go and they play. They play in the water and then they come and they put their little hand on their mom's leg or something. They check in, they get a snack, they get some water and they go back out in the pool and they play some more. They come back in. So your ones are great. Like when you are not having the best day, or when you're learning something, or maybe you had a great conversation and you're so excited because you've just talked to the person that you've been wanting to get in front of for 4 months and you just haven't been able to, and you think they're going to work with you. You go to your one and you guess what? I think Mary's going to work with me. We had a great conversation. We hit it off. Or guess what? I think she's going to hook me up with her neighbor, and her neighbor is a great referral for me. So your ones, that's what they're for, is check in. Lean on them for moral support if you need it. Give them the good news, check in on them, and then leave. You don't spend your entire time at your networking meetings with people you know very well, because it's not a good use of your time. Okay? You're there to meet new people. The other thing that ones are great for is you come over to Mary and you say, "Hey, Mary, do you know Todd over there? Do you know him? Are you leaving, Sarah?" "Yeah." "Okay, we'll see you. Love you too." Um, "Yeah, I know Todd. Hey, I need you to introduce me to Todd. Like, I need to be in front of him. Or I need you to introduce me to Susie." "Oh, sure." So use your ones to introduce you to people that you need to be in front of, because it's a warm introduction. So if you have a good friend of yours introducing you to somebody, then you know that friend's going to talk you up. You know your friend's going to talk you up. "Oh, hey, here's Faithann. She has a great online community." So those are the two purposes for your ones. You check in with them, see how they're doing, and you lean on them for, like, when your shirt's been on backwards, or maybe you just said something really dumb to somebody and you're just like, "Oh," go find a one and say, "You never believe what I just did," briefly, and then get back out there, get back out in the wild and do your thing. And then the second thing that your ones are good for is strategic introductions. Ask them to help you. And of course, be giving. Like, who can I introduce you to? Your twos. This is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. Your twos are you're going to spend the majority of your time. You're going to build rapport. You're going to learn more about their business. You're going to create curiosity about your business. You're going to tell stories of how you have helped your clients. You're going to tell stories of what happens when a referral comes across your desk or your in your phone. You're going to tell the story of how you help referrals so that they know, "Oh, if I send Faithann a referral, this is what happens." So your twos are all about light in the shadows, casting light into the shadows, Get to know them better. Get to know what makes them a good referral for them. Let them understand what makes a good referral for you. Create curiosity by having good answers to the question, how are you? Instead of saying fine, say, I am doing really well. I just got back from Premium OKC Networking Meetup. It's a meetup I have for my members, and I got great feedback on it. Instead of I'm good. Isn't that a better answer? Have a better answer. This is where your real work, like the majority of your time is for your twos. Because they need to learn that you are a safe person to talk to. And we'll talk more about that with your threes, but they need to learn that you are kind, warm, friendly, competent, confident, and they you create curiosity about your business. So that's where your twos, that's where the work is done. And the reason why I talk about this is because for me, like it's tempting to spend all of your time with your ones because it's familiar and you don't have to work as hard because they already know you and they already love you. They're a fan. And so you guys can just shop talk or you can talk about what happened, at home in the morning. Spend 2 hours just talking to a one, but and that's easy to do, but is it the right thing for your business? Is it moving your business forward? Is it opening up more opportunities for you? Are you finding opportunities for others when you go straight for the people that you already know and already know you and just spend all your time with them? You're not. Okay. And then, so that's what your twos are for. Light in the shadows, create curiosity, tell stories about how you help your clients. Ask them good questions. If you were king of the carpet world for the day, what would you do differently? That's what you're going to ask your carpet cleaner to. If you were king of real estate, what would you do differently? That's what you're going to ask the realtor. And then create curiosity, tell stories of how you help your clients, like brag on your clients, because it's a way for them to understand what you do. Okay. And then, so let me know if any of this, like, do you guys find yourself like tempted to just spend most of your networking time with people you already know really well? Or maybe you don't suffer. Maybe that's not a big deal for you. You're like, no, I know better. So you're not like me. You don't struggle. Like, no, of course, I don't spend time. I go to the twos. I go to the people that I don't know very well. I know a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you tend to do when you have a lot of people to pick from. Okay, now your threes. They're the brand new people. So there's some things that we need to be careful about with our threes. And the threes are where we really need to think about tact. The threes are brand new people to us. So we don't want to close doors on them before they ever get to meet us, before they ever give us a chance. So we need to be careful about bad mouthing a third party to a three before we know what that three's relationship to that person is. So a name comes up and you just start, oh, Bob. Oh, I can't stand Bob. Before you know what that person's relationship to Bob is. And then you've closed the door. Bob's never going to talk. He's never going to take you seriously. Okay. Or the person you're talking to. Maybe that's his brother and you've closed the door. Making assumptions. Be very careful about making assumptions about people you meet for the first time. It's just always better to ask, tell me about, I'm curious about, instead of just making assumptions about maybe who they're with or um, just assumptions. Nothing's coming to my mind specifically, but that's what your threes. You can be very careful. So open and asking questions. And then what we're doing with our threes, more than our twos and our ones, is we're showing our threes that we are a safe person to talk to. So we are going to teach them that we are not going to word vomit all over them. We're going to have a conversation, and you're going to have a turn and I'm going to have a turn, and you're going to have a turn and I'm going to have a turn. So we're teaching them, hey, this is a good place to be. Okay, so on a micro, you're uh, you're teaching them that you are a safe conversation to have. Now, on a bigger scale for the threes, you're teaching them that the room is a safe place to be as much as you can. Like, you can't control every conversation, but be a piece of that puzzle, of that broader picture, that scared, nervous plumber, or that scared, nervous photographer, that scared, nervous website developer walks into the room, and be a piece of the puzzle, that he or she learns that it's okay to walk into rooms full of people they don't know and talk about their business, that it's safe and it's actually fun. Because if you can do that, um, they'll come back. And then what does that mean for you? It means you have another opportunity. It means you get to move them from a three to a two. And you have opportunities. You know people, they know people, and you connect those people together, and everybody wins. So your threes are, that's your main goal for your threes. Is so maybe a three, you don't need to find out what makes a good referral for them, maybe, depending on how they're acting. Okay, maybe they don't necessarily need to know what a good referral for you is, depending on how they're acting. If they're acting very nervous, your main job is going to be put them at ease. Put them at ease. And a lot of this is actions, not just words, but actions. Do they need directions? Do they need to know what to do next? Do they need to know what to expect? Can you be the person that says, okay, now this is how it's going to go? So what we do is we generally just talk for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll start the official meeting, and everybody gets a turn, and you just explain what's going to happen. Just that little piece of the puzzle. It's going to help their nervous system. It's going to help them relax. And it's going to teach them, most importantly, that you are a good conversation to have. That we all avoid bad conversations like the plague, and our brains will remember. They will tell us, oh, I don't remember his name, I don't remember what he does, but I remember that was not a fun conversation for me. Or I don't remember her name, but golly, I remember it wasn't a fun conversation. So instead, we want to be like, oh, I remember her, and we had a great conversation. That's what you want your threes to learn, because your twos already have an idea that you're a pretty okay person to talk to, and your ones, they already love you. So that, again, that's why you don't need to spend much time with them. Just go check in and then ask them to make introductions for you on your behalf, and do the same for them. Your threes, your job is to say, hey, this is a good place to be. And when you come in here, we all care about you, and we want to see you win. And that's your goal, is to help them learn that we all are here to see you win. And in whatever way you can do that, small gestures, small things, asking them easy questions. Don't ask them hard questions, ask them easy questions, and have that back and forth. They talk and you talk, and they talk and you talk. Warm, friendly, competent, confident, warm and friendly for your threes. I felt like I had something else I was going to say about the threes, but I can't remember what it was. If they're not scared, like I said at the beginning, they're still working really hard. So still, if they talk a lot, let them talk and listen. And oh, I know what I was going to say. Okay, so I'm seeing online this question. What's your biggest struggle right now? What I'm seeing in some groups and some posts is people don't like that question, because they feel like, some people, not everybody, but some feel like it's just a disguised way to try and pitch. And I think what's happening with that question is it's being asked way too early. So you're asking your threes, what's your biggest struggle in your business right now? You're asking that to somebody that you've known for 5 minutes. So I would not recommend doing that. I would not ask that question to somebody you just met because they may perceive it, even though you really want to know because you're connected, you can help, but it can seem a little bit like, well, wait a second. We've only known each other for 5 minutes. Maybe I'm not willing to share with you my biggest struggle. So save that question for your twos. Your ones, you probably already know. I know my people, that I'm close with that mentor me, that I mastermind with, they know what my biggest struggles are. So that's your training, and you guys got it. Uh, you got it tonight, and I would love to hear what you think about that. Now, during the live, one thing that I didn't emphasize, and I want to do that here, is our goal is to be moving our threes, which are the unfamiliar to us, the new people, into the twos. And then we want to move those twos into the ones. Now, there is another number that I thought of since I did that live, and that's the 0.5. It's kind of silly for a number, isn't it, to assign a person a 0.5, but that's what I'm going to do. So your 0.5s, those are a very tight group of your business besties. This number is not going to be very many. You're not going to have very many 0.5s. They're the people that you call when like you're crying and you don't know if you're going to be able to keep going. They're the people that call when your employee quits, a key employee quits. They're the people that you share your news about your business with first. So that is within the ones, you even have a separation there of just a few close, very close people. So when I say we're going to move our twos into our ones, I'm not saying that we need to be very, very intimate with a large number of people. You can't do that. You're going to be intimate with maybe 3, 4 people, but you're going to be very familiar and friendly and supportive of a larger group of people. Those are your ones. Those are the people that you understand what a good referral for them is. They're the people that cheer you on. They're the people you cheer on. You go to their events, they come to your events. So that, even though that's a one, you can have several ones in your network. And that does mean that we need to be careful that we're not spending too much time in a networking meeting with our ones, because there's going to be a lot of them. Especially if you're really building your business through referrals and you're in these rooms often, your ones are going to grow. The goal is to move the threes to the twos and the twos to the ones. And then from those ones, we have a very small group of 0.5s. And you need to have those. You need to have a few people that you can call and you can pour out your heart to them. They can pour out their heart to you. Just recently in our state, and I don't know the implication nationwide because I don't really pay attention to business nationwide as much as I do local business, but there is a business called the Painted Tree, and it was a store where local people could put their products in to sell locally. And they just shut down immediately without any notice. And so what I'm seeing on Facebook is a lot of uncertainty in that space of the handmade crafts, the handmade items. And a lot of people were very surprised at this sudden shutdown of the Painted Tree, which was where it hosted all of these wonderful local business owners' products. So those people are going to have some people around them that they're going to need to lean into for support. And if they have networked, then they're going to have a group of people that they can do that with. So advertising is wonderful. Um, Digital advertising, print advertising, all of that is wonderful. And networking is a good way to advertise that brings that human element. And so when things like this happen, you have people, you have real people that you've built relationships with to lean into. I want to give a shout out to one of our prior guests, Sarah Golding. She was on episode 58, Selling the Experience, Not the Ingredients. So she was on the podcast in November, and we were talking about referrals for the holidays. I saw a post she made on Facebook about the Painted Tree shutting down, and she asks who's struggling with their next steps now that the Painted Tree has shut down. To help you get back up and running so you don't feel alone while doing it, I'm offering a free strategy session exclusively to you. Between now and the end of May, I'll help guide you through overstocked inventory, new revenue streams, and lend an ear to your situation. So she's seeing the need and she's saying, hey, lean on me for support. This is where networking really shines, is I have the opportunity to meet people like Sarah who see a need and step in. So remember that you move people through familiarity, and when you are at networking meetings, we want to spend most of our time with our twos, understanding people better, making them feel comfortable talking to us. And we're going to reserve our ones for those situations where we're going to check in with them. We're going to ask them to help us with strategic introductions. That's what we're going to do with our ones. And for our threes, we're going to make them feel comfortable. We're going to teach them that we are a safe conversation to have. And then we're going to be working to moving our threes into that two territory. Go and network, and remember, next week the podcast will have a new name: Business Networking and Referrals for Entrepreneurs, the Networker's Tour Guide. Same great content, a newer name, making it easier for the right people to find how they can grow their businesses through referrals.
You've been listening to the Networker's Tour Guide podcast with Faithann Basore. Share this episode with a friend, and be sure to come back next week for more networking tips and tricks from the Networker's Tour Guide.